5-2 Day 3 Right Triangle Trigonometry. In example 1, it says, sighting the top of a building, a surveyor measured the angle of elevation to be 22 degrees. The transit is 5 feet above the ground and 300 feet from the building. Find the building's height. Just to give you a little history if you don't know, transit is a tool that they use to measure an angle of elevation. So I'm just going to draw a pretend tool. And it is 5 feet above the ground. And 300 feet from the building. The angle of elevation, so that means that they're looking up, is 22 degrees. So they're looking up at the building. This is the building. And they want us to find this height. So in all these problems, we're either going to use SO, CA, or TOA. So you have to figure out which trig function to use by the information they gave you. So if you notice, here's our angle. We have the adjacent side, and we're looking for the opposite side. So the best trig function to use would be tangent. You can always use the reciprocals as well. So tangent of 22 is equal to x opposite over adjacent, which is 300. So you're going to solve for x by multiplying both sides by 300 so that these can cancel. Now, very important, your calculator has to be in degree mode because it could either be in degree or radians. So make sure you check it. And you're going to type in, because x would equal 300 times tangent of 22. And make sure you close the parentheses. And usually we round to the nearest whole number. So it would be 121 feet. However, remember the transit was 5 feet above the ground. So you have to add 5 to that amount. So actually, the height of the building is 126 feet. Example 2. A building that is 21 meters casts a shadow 25 meters long. Here's my building. Here's the sun. And it's casting a shadow right here. That's 25 meters. My building is 21 meters tall. Find the angle of elevation. Elevation means we're looking up to the nearest degree. Okay, I have an opposite side labeled, and I have an adjacent. So, CA, TOA. So that means I'm going to use tangent again. Tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. So when you're actually looking for the angle, remember you use the inverse key. So to find theta, you got to do tangent inverse 21 divided by 25. And remember the inverse key, you have to do second tangent. And it'll give you this inverse key. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to get approximately 40 degrees. Example 3. A road is inclined at an angle of elevation of 5 degrees. After driving 5,000 feet along this road, find the driver's increase in altitude. Round to the nearest foot. Well, they've already drawn the picture for us, so all we have to do is solve it. Remember, we're going to either use SO, CA, or TOA. So they gave us an angle of 5 degrees. If you notice now, we have the hypotenuse, and we're looking for the opposite. So the best trig function to use is sine. 5 degrees is equal to opposite. We don't know, so I'm going to call it A. Actually, let's call it O for opposite, over hypotenuse, which is 5,000 feet. And then we solve for O. So you're going to multiply both sides by 5,000. Your calculator should still be in degree mode. So O is equal to 5,000 times sine of 5 degrees. So your answer should be 436 feet. Example 4. A plane rises from takeoff and flies at an angle of 10 degrees with the horizontal runway. When it has gained 500 feet, the distance to the nearest foot. When it has gained 500 feet, find the distance to the nearest foot the plane has flown. So, CA, TOA. All right, so we have our angle, we have our opposite side, and we need our hypotenuse. So we're going to use sine again. Sine 10 degrees equals 500 over h. Now, this one's different because our variable is in the denominator. So you have to multiply both sides by your variable. So you're going to get h times sine of 10 equals 500. And this time you have to divide instead of multiplying. So in your calculator, you're going to do 500 divided by sine 10. And your answer should be 2,879 feet. Always put the units. Last example. Example 5. A telephone pole is 55 feet tall. A guy wire, this is the guy wire, is 80 feet long. Find the angle between the wire and the pole to the nearest degree. So they want this angle right here, which is theta. So let's see what we're given. So, CA, TOA. All right, so according to this angle, we have the adjacent side and we have the hypotenuse. So that would be cosine theta is equal to 55 over 80. When you are looking for the angle, remember you use the inverse key. So you're going to do second cosine of 55 over 80 is equal to theta. So you're going to type in second cosine and type in that fraction, and that will give you your angle. So that angle should be 47 degrees.